Welcome to another episode on my Arduino Mega2560 with fischertechnik Mechatronics and 2 motors, electronics and Arduino Uno via SPI, serial peripheral interface, as well as signaling SPI through an oscilloscope. Usually everything works more or less fine. Well, last couple of episodes I've been trying to solve a problem that this motor stopped running. This motor stopped running despite electronics, and this time I noticed that the LED for this transistor circuit belonging to this motor is not burning. That can mean several things. It can mean software has changed. It hasn't. It can mean the transistor is dysfunctional. Still possible. However, I also have to select the correct tool setting, and well, selecting the board was no problem. Selecting the port is a problem because it only shows the Mega2560, which is this one. So in comes good old-fashioned Linux for checking the presence of TTY ACM, and it only shows ACM 1, not 0 or whichever. So the board is not even active, which means that I have to unplug at least the Uno, but since they are interconnected I have to unplug them all. I have to unplug both, and then first plug in this one probably, and then that one, which is also the sequence I usually do it, but I changed the sequence, and that is probably with this result. So first unplug this one, and then I have to keep in mind that it doesn't fall down. Alright, everything off now. Then plug in and plug in. So now it knows both. Very good. And now I can also change ownership, so I can write to them. Now it's correct. So now I can select the port, which is now TTY ACM 1. I can select the tool settings, although I do notice that the LED is still not working, but I think that is because of something I did last time with, yes, that was with this potmeter. Value 800, it is not working because it is a value which is too low, and this potmeter manages not to get high enough. So that is where I left off last time. What I also did, and that was quite revealing, was making an extensive schematics of almost all electronics on the breadboard, and you can compare that with this pot meter, this is pot meter 2, etc. All there is except for this one and this circuit, because those belong to the Arduino Uno. However, when I was checking how this is wired, I noticed that I made a slight mistake with the real circuit, and that mistake is that it both reads and writes somehow, so I need to rewire and see how this ends up. And this is a long time ago since I set the circuit up, and I have by now 2 wires that could suffice in wiring, but it's quite delicate. Anyway, I will give an explanation how this is all readable. So, first of all, I have started a long time ago with a motor circuit with an AVR-C circuit, and here I removed the C, and now looking at it, I have no C in it at all anymore, and the C being a capacitor, electrolytic capacitor, and I took them all out. So it's now 2 RL circuits with quite a lot of R and L, so it is not entirely correct anymore. Anyway, motor with propeller, motor with propeller. Then motor with chain, motor, fischertechnik motor with chain and a switch. And this is where the program comes from. Then here exactly the same, and yes, I have 3 motors with change. However, one is on the Uno, controlled by the Uno, and this is all 2560. Some LED circuits, the pot meter I was talking about, and yes, this is all SPI to the Uno, but this is still part of 2560. So that in a very quick thing. Oh, by the way, this is the USA symbol of a resistor, and this is the international symbol. So I might replace all these symbols by the international value. The only thing is that the pot meter, which is a variable resistor, only has this symbol in it. Okay, so be it. With that said, I need to do 2 things. First, see to replace this pot meter with a much larger value, one with a much larger value, because I found out that several pot meters I have are not are just 10 kilo ohms, but they are into mega ohms, so I need to find one, and then I can release this one and use this, and then I will start with that, rewire potmeter number 2, which is wrongly wired here, so I can do something with it. And let me start with that. And it is quite a mesh with wires, so I have to be careful. And careful is with a capital C. And this is the wire from the potmeter, so I will have to be careful taking this one out, putting it in here. It's still free, or is it? And no, it's not. It is not free. So the question is how to wire this. Where did I make a mistake in the first place? Because this wire is going to that motor and is without a doubt getting its signals from it. So if I pull this wire, this motor will stop probably. Let me check. It will not. Oh, that is a nice one. That makes me curious. Well, no, not too curious, because it is getting its power anyway. It is getting its power. So whatever happens, I need to check some wiring. And it is quite cluttered here. I need to rethink this. In the meantime, finding another potmeter. A simple test on the hardware, and that was just turning this one and turning this one, has revealed that this potmeter is actually wired correctly, no rewire needed, and it controls output 7. Where's output 7? Here. So this potmeter controls this motor with chain. So then this potmeter controls this motor. And so I only had to add some text here to clarify for myself. And what did not happen is that although this one slowed down, this one did not slow down. So this is controlled in another way. Purely software, I think. Another thing is that I did not find a higher value potmeter, so I will have to change this value for this LED to see if it is if it just runs better. So let's go back to this. So let's get this done, and I was doing this using the potmeter value, and then either use this value or use the output value. Well, in this case I will have to use the output value, and let me go to 256. Everything set correctly. Go. And this value burns brightly. This LED burns brightly. Although the motor doesn't work yet. So what I am going to do instead is use the wires that I had set for rewiring this one, using for some rewiring for this motor, because I am not satisfied with this result. When I set it up, it worked perfectly. It suddenly stopped, and I still haven't got a clue why. I reprogrammed, I rewired, still nothing. While a power control test on this motor reveals it just works. So something is wrong. And truth be told that it has to do with potential difference. And potential difference for this LED is remarkably lower than for the rest of the motor, so I can't. The only thing that this LED shows is that there's a signal going through this potmeter, and it may not be high enough for the motor, which is now the case. So for now that is up next, and how to do that carefully is another question, because I do not want to interrupt any other stuff. Anyway, let's do something about it. A very clear idea is, well, there is here a transistor circuit which should control the motor. However, to make sure that it's a potential difference, which it is, because when I measure now on with the new wire on the motor, it just measures 1 volt, which is very low. But when I take the wire out and I put it straight to ground, watch what happens. So I take out the wire straight into ground, and there it goes. Is this the idea? No, certainly not. I want it to be controlled by something else. I want to control it by this, and that this circuit works is proven by this LED, and that is pin 7. So pin 7 is analog out pin 7. Then where is pin 7 being used? Right here, analog out pin 7, output value. Where is output value coming from? Right here. But it doesn't work. Well, maybe it does work if this would be a higher value, but I did that and it still didn't work. So this is only to prove that a certain value of higher than 128 is making sure that this LED is working, but even the 1023 value does not make this work. And now this is working, so something is still wrong. So neither this nor this is making the circuit work. So how I can do this? Well, actually this is all Mega2560 circuit, so I need to draw another circuit for the Uno with the other side of the SPI circuit, no doubt. Anything else to do? Yes, of course, this motor still doesn't run. Or, well, this works. And this works a little bit, as you can see, but there is still something not quite right. And I'm not sure what it is. What is the potential difference anyway? In comes the multimeter again, set to direct current. Oops. Measuring it shows 0.25 volts, which is very low, I have to say. And this is also not much, which proves that it is actually controlled by pulse width modulation, but this one works and this one does not. And this one has 0.3 and this has 0.2 volts. So whatever is going on, maybe the value, but then I need to check on the other side. So with the other with this motor running, I can concentrate on the Arduino Mega2560 code to see if anything is received. So let's select something. And check. And then there is something I do not like. And more specifically, if I look at the oscilloscope, I clearly see SPI in working. It's data and device select, slave select, clearly working. Here I don't see anything at all. So let me check once again. Mega2560 board. Port is the correct one. So serial monitor. And here is also a delay I cannot explain. but I do not see a thing, not even what it is supposed to show. So let me drag this right here and go down in the code, because what should it say on terminal? From SPI, and then some value, and then some sensor value digital from input 12 and input 9, and I do not see a thing. Why is this? Do I have to once again reset everything? I am inclined to do that. See if that solves anything. It should not solve, because there should not be a problem. But considering the fact that I see SPI here and I see nothing here, not a nice idea. Would that help? Well, I can only check out. Let me do that. Unplugging the Mega. Plugging it in again. Then I have to check on here. Only the one, it says. So I have to unplug everything. Once again. Okay, now everything is unplugged, which is shown by this. Then plugging in the Mega, plugging in the Uno. Both are there, 1 and 2 this time, but I don't mind, because I have a wildcard here, which is a star and says, well, either character, doesn't matter which. Now I'm here, which means that I have to select another port, which in this case is the Mega. And so now it is ACM1, and let's check for the serial monitor, and now it works. Oops. And it beats me why I have to do this in the first place. But SPI gives a value, and now the point is, which what I started with in the very first place, when I put the Uno back on. Well, not back on, I just put it on. Together with SPI, together with this motor, which is now controlled in the wrong way, but that's for later. Now I want to do something on this side with a value that is being controlled somehow. So that's a new adventure I want to go into. And yeah, considering the length of the video, that will certainly be for next time. So what did I do now? Check the circuit, find out that everything is wired as should. Well, not entirely, of course, because this motor isn't wired as should. and should be. Then a mystery with this motor, and unfortunately no replacement available for this pot meter. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Like the video, give it thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, retweet and like, and follow me on Instagram and like. Please donate to keep videos coming to you. More information on my website, much appreciated. And this is going to be continued, of course. So bye bye.